Hello friends, welcome back to my video, and this is also going to be related to n8n. And this is not going to be an AI agent video. Okay, so this video is more about the video, or I should say the YouTube short that I recently saw. Right, so this is the short. If you can see my screen, this is the YouTube short that I saw. Here, the creator created a attendance application for college university students, where it will register attendance once students are connected to college Wi-Fi, right? And the creator did not disclose the code and the workflow in the shot itself, but you get the gist of it, right? So basically, he told that he used Google Script and Google Sheet, right? So this got me thinking, why not use n8n and n8n data table, built-in data table, or you could use any database also, and everything going to be self-hosted, and that will reduce the dependency on the external application that are available on the internet, right? Like Google Sheet or anything M365, right? So that will be easier for uh, education institutes, college or university, so that they can have that data isolated from the external network, right? So this got me thinking, and this is the solution that I came up with. Okay, so let me bring the architecture. So this is what my architecture is. So once the students connected to university or college Wi-Fi network, it will open the attendance web page, and the student will input his or her registration number and hit the button. If that will trigger the n8n workflow. My n8n workflow is triggered by webhook, so that will receive registration number in its request body, and webhook will infer that, and it will check whether the student registration number provided by student is already there in data table. I'm using n8n data table, which comes free even for self-hosted version. So I would recommend that. I will show the workflow also. So that will check whether that registration number exists in the student data table. If it is exist, then it will proceed to next. If does not exist, it will say no such student found. I will show the demo also. If student number exists, then it will go and check whether the student entry is there for today's day, right? So that may be case when student is already marked attendance for today, then it should not duplicate for the day, right? So that is the addition logic that I implemented, where it will check whether student registration number is already registered for the given date, the current date. If it is not, then it will go ahead and register. Otherwise, it will say already registered. Okay. So enough of theory. Let's see, get it working. Basically, this page can be hosted on any technology, but I used Node Express to host my this application, right? So again, I used AI to generate everything. If you see, this is generated by my Gemini CLI, right? So this is simple Node.js application where I'm just serving this index.html, right? This is a very basic Node.js code, and here is my index.html with all the styling that you saw. I will show you that in depth. And in main.js, I'm just triggering my workflow, right? And triggering my workflow and giving response back to user, right? Let me show you. Okay. I have not put any, let me put some registration number. Before that, let me show my data table. So I have two data table. One is student DB, where I will have the registered number and student name, blah, 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 blah. You can have whatever you want. So this registered ID is important for me. And student attendance, here the registered ID, okay, that user student will provide, and attendance date, it is nothing but today's date in string format. This is you can have any format. I prefer this format for this demo. Okay, so I have two table where if you can see, I have two students in my database. This is their name and registration ID, and in student attendance, I have only attendance of this user, this student, not the other one, right? Who is in my database? Okay, let's run this application, right? Since you saw this is 1 2 3 4 5 student already got registered today, let's try with his id or his id, her id, doesn't matter. Okay, let's run this. Okay, it says attendance already done for the day. Okay, since we saw that student is already registered for the day, attendance is already registered for the day, then let's pick up this student 24671. Okay, let's put 24671 and hit register attendance. Attendance registered. Let's see whether data got populated. Okay, not that students attendance. Okay, so data got populated. If we try again, it will say already registered, already done for the day. Okay, let's put some random student, right? We have only two students in our database, right? Let's put some random. So it says no such student exist. Work with your admin. Okay. So the very basic application which automates the registration or I should say which automates the student attendance. Okay. Now come to our the flow, right? How it works. Okay, so this is the webhook trigger that I talked about, right? This is webhook trigger node, right? And it is backed by the respond to webhook node. That is what giving response back to the front end application, right? And in the first node is the data table row, which I'm checking whether the row exists, right? So this is the registration number that is provided during the trigger, right? And checks whether it is there in student db. If you see, it checks whether the student provided or user provided register id is there in this database, right? Student db data table. If it is there, if it is not there, that means no such student exists, right? If it is there, then it goes to other logic, right? So this logic it checks whether that registration number is there in this table. This is my second table, which is attendance table, right? It checks whether this register id is this table. This is to check whether the student is already registered for registered attendance for today's day, right? So that is the logic. So this checks whether this ID number, whether this student number, and also whether he or she has attendance for today's day, right? If it happens to true, it will say this is exists. So if you see my if it is empty, that means there is no record exists, right? Then then it will go for insert row. So there is no entry for that student. It will go for insert row, and insert row I am capturing the register ID and I'm converting the current date time to this string format, right? And that will be written into my data table, and I am responding back saying attendance done. This is the response code I am generating, right? And similarly, if student entry for student for given today's day already exists, then this will come to this false loop, and then here it will say attendance already done for the day, and this is the response code, and this is the same response code I'm checking in my client logic, right? So you can see I'm just using the fetch api to trigger the webhook, and this is what it does, right? This is the response code. I have created response code for each, and it is basically reacting to that. Okay, so I hope you might have found it useful, and in the comment, please do let me know if you need more info. Yes, I would say this is still not foolproof because shouldn't anyone can put proxy once they are connected to Wi-Fi, right? But you get the idea, right? We can enhance this by creating some kind of mobile app or desktop app where it can even acquire the MAC address, because IP itself is not enough, MAC address or serial number, and that we can check with the database. But that is for you to explore. But I hope you would find this useful. If you find it useful, please like, subscribe, and share, and please do leave comments. All right, folks. Thank you. Thanks for watching.